بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله والصلاة والسلام على رسول الله وعلى آله وصحبه وعلى السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. Welcome to the Fiqh class. Today inshallah we're continuing the discussion of the book of marriage. And now we have very interesting issue, which is the option in marriage. Is there an option in marriage or not? Just like option in sale. You have the option, or you have the option and after 2 days you decide that this marriage is not for you. No option. Why? Once the ijab and qabul happens, then that's it.
There's a renouncement process.
There is divorce. Isn't there also khul'? Isn't there when the wife was forced and the judge says it is your option? When we said, like for instance, she was forced on this marriage. That's the option. But like in transactions, when we say there is an option, you're married for 3 days, and within those 3 days, you try each other, you see if there is any defects, and then either you continue with this marriage or you call it off. No, that's the opinion of all scholars, except for an odd disagreement, which should not be regarded. Okay? Because when you say it is a transaction, yes, it is a transaction, right? Is it transaction or no? Yes or no? Yes. Isn't there a possibility of deception? So why don't you have the option then? Then there is an option. It is a specific type of transaction. It is not like the sale. In sales, the intent or the objective is to gain profit, while here it is to enjoy. It is to be lenient to each other. It is different. Now, we talk about the conditions of the marriage contract. What are these conditions? We have the guardians, or al-awliya, plural of guardian, wali. We have witnesses. And we have mahr, dower. So how many conditions for the marriage contract? 3. 3 or 4? 3. 4? Ijab and qabul, right? How it is implied? Are they 3 or 4? Based on the entire majority of scholars, they are 4. Then where is the ijab and qabul? We just discussed it. That's what preceded earlier. Ijab and qabul, that's what we discussed. Now we're moving to the others. Actually, according to the Hanafi school of thought, it is only one condition. Ijab and qabul. Because that implies everything else. But it is very essential. Don't think that because it is not mentioned here, it is not a condition. It is a condition. Ijab and qabul. It is the essence. But we already discussed it. Who has the ijab? How it is expressed. Now, the first condition is the guardians. Are they a condition of marriage or no? They are a condition of marriage. Absolutely. What's the evidence? The Prophet ﷺ said, La nikaha illa without wali. Right? Is this hadith authentic? We will discuss the stipulation of the guardians first. We will discuss the description of the guardians. We will discuss the categories of the guardians. We will discuss the dispute, if there is any in the guardianship. So, someone wanted to get married, or a girl wanted to get married. Can she or can't she? She can or can't.
In the Hanafi madhab, she can if she's like, for
She is businesswoman.
Like she's smart enough to like.
No woman can get married. A woman came to you. She said, you are a knowledgeable person. I want to get married. And this is the person whom I like to marry. And we have 2 witnesses. Go ahead. We agreed on the dowry, $20,000. Here is the check, certified check. He gave it to her. And you are the one who is conducting the marriage. Would you do it or no? No. Why not?
I would say no because of the hadith I just talked about.
Of course not. Why not?
There's no marriage without the wali.
The wali has to be present. Says who?
The wali has to approve it.
Okay, hold on. The wali has to approve it. Or the wali has to be present.
Has to approve it.
Has to approve it.
Has to approve it. She said, my father does not mind.
Where's the proof?
Let me hear it.
Where's the proof?
Does he have to be there? Or approve of it? Or he just only should not mind the marriage?
If you are sure he approved it, then you can do it.
He did not approve it, but he said, let her do whatever she wants. I have nothing to do with her.
Oh, that's different.
Or she tells you that I am always doing my matters by myself. I don't need him. Do you need the wali or no?
Yes, you do.
What's the evidence? What? The hadith of the Prophet ﷺ. Okay. You say there is a hadith. What about the ayah? Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, فَإِن طَلَّقَهَا. You studied these ayat in Surah Al-Baqarah. Then she is not lawful. If she is divorced, then she is not lawful unto him thereafter until she hath wedded another husband, or until she is married to another husband.
This is talking about the deflowered.
That is different. Deflowered. Oh, okay. So now it depends. Okay, what if she is deflowered?
No, it doesn't need the wali.
She doesn't need the wali.
No, she doesn't.
No, she still does.
She still does.
But it's not binding that she has to.
Oh, now it's trouble. You say it is not binding, but she needs.
No.
It's recommended that
Okay, it is recommended.
that she has the
Okay, what is the point in this ayah? Listen to me. What is the point in this ayah?
if she wants to remarry her former husband.
She has wedded another husband. It doesn't say the father married her to another husband or the wali married her. Who's conducting the marriage? The marriage is attributed to herself, which implies that she is allowed to perform the marriage, to marry herself. Isn't this the Quran? Okay, another evidence, the same surah. If you die, a husband dies, and you leave a widow behind, they shall wait means the widow. After that, there is no blame on you if they dispose of themselves in a just and reasonable manner. What's the meaning here in this ayah? Marriage. They married. So the marriage is attributed to who? Woman. Can a woman marry without a wali? Back to the main question.
If she was already married.
If she was already married. Okay, what if she's not married?
No.
Why not?
The hadith Bob says so.
What did the hadith say?
No, there's no marriage without wali.
There is no marriage without wali. Did the Prophet ﷺ say unless she is deflowered?
No, he didn't. It's different.
No, he didn't. So now I'm confused.
Two different.
The opinion of the majority that she needs wali, a woman needs wali, whether she is virgin or deflowered, according to Abu Hanifa rahimahullah, she does not need wali. According to Dawood al-Zahiri, she only needs wali when she's deflowered, not when she's virgin. She doesn't need wali. What's the evidence that she needs wali?
But only if she's like very like smart and capable person, not like a.
Why?
What does he say about? What do they say about this hadith?
Hadith is weak. What is this hadith? What is this hadith? It is weak. Can't a woman make a $10 million transaction? Yet she cannot. She can deal with money of other people's properties, and she cannot do something to herself.
Hadith is weak.
That's what they say. That does not make it weak, but that's what they say. So basically there is no evidence. We resort to the Quran. Let's say the hadith is correct, authentic. All what it means that she should not marry against her wali. That's all. If it was not against her wali, then there is no issue. So basically she could go and perform the marriage, and then we check on the wali. That's what the hadith says. It doesn't mean that in the hadith. That's what they say. What do you think?
You have to have the money.
That's interesting.
You have to have why? What's
First, we need to verify this hadith.
It's
It's strength.
I believe
If it's authentic, then
it is authentic.
what is the why?
لا نكاح إلا بولي.
What do you mean by people?
There is no marriage without a wali. That's the thing. What does it mean there is no marriage without a wali? Is he a condition, or he is a condition only when she chooses? Because scholars differed also. They said if she marries a man that is fit to her and she is qualified as mature woman, then we don't need the wali. Because that's basically why the wali is there. Because marriage is a relationship that involves not only the wife and the husband, but also the families. And that's why we need the wali. Because maybe she will bring disgrace to her family. And that's why we need the walis, to make sure that he is married, she is married to a man who is fit to her. He does not bring disgrace, she does not bring... So if she did that already, then she doesn't need the wali. But again, if you look to the Quran, in the same surah, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, do not prevent them from marrying their former husbands. And that is addressing who? The wali. Because if the wali has nothing to do with them, Allah would not address them. Allah would address the wives directly. Just yesterday, I received a phone call. And a sister, a week ago, last Saturday, she was married to a man here in Houston through a brother who conducted the marriage. She came from Pittsburgh alone. He married her to that brother. And yesterday, she came to me after she called me because she said that this brother takes drugs. And I tried, to see what's going on here. I told her, how do you know this brother? She said online. She knew him online. Okay, where is your family? Do you have a family? You came alone? She said, my father is in Saudi Arabia and my brother is there in Pittsburgh. And I told her, okay, so how you married this brother, this person? She said, the person who is here in a small place, I don't want to name it, he conducted the marriage. And I called this person and I told him, how would you conduct such a marriage? Where is the wali? He said, well, if the wali is postponing, if he is delaying. I said, yeah, if he is delaying, so what? You have to take his consent. What was the dowry? What did he pay to her for that marriage? And I asked her before. She said that he promised her with a diamond ring and with another thing. Did she get any? No. So now you have, a week ago, a girl who's 21 years old, virgin, Now, she is in this marriage to that person without a wali, without a dowry, and he takes drugs. And she's alone by herself. Why? For many reasons. But first and foremost, it is her fault. Before I blame anybody else, it is her fault. How would you commit to a relationship through the internet? And this person himself said, I know that brother, he's good because he prays in the masjid. So what? And he's true when he said, I don't know anything internally. And that's true also. So that's why we have engagement. That's why we have people to ask. He recommended him and she believed him, so she married him. Now, the wali is not there and the mahr was not there. So basically there is no marriage. But again, imagine if that would be your daughter or your sister. Actually, I would kill that person who conducted the marriage. I am alive and I am here and my daughter gets married behind my back. Anyways, so...
Would you kill the husband too? I kill the husband.
No, he took advantage. This person took advantage and I don't blame him. Yes, of course he's wrong. But don't you have mind? So is this a valid marriage or no? It was without a wali. And the girl was virgin. So it is not a valid marriage. So basically there is no marriage. And that's what I told the girl. I told her, just go back. There is no marriage. But you deserve the mahr, which most likely he won't pay. This is just one story. True story. Out of many stories that are happening. So is the wali a condition or no?
Yeah.
What is the evidence? Again, if we say, according to the majority, that there is a wali, these are the conditions of wali. Islam, adulthood, and masculinity. He has to be a Muslim. So if the father or the uncle or anyone not a Muslim, can he be a wali? No. He has to be adult. You cannot bring, like you say, your father is dead and you have a 9 years old brother and you say, this is my wali. You cannot. Or you cannot bring your mother and say, she is my wali, although she is your mother. Why? Because she herself needs a wali if she wanted to get married. Why? Again, remember, that's what is beautiful about Islam. Islam looks at the entire relationship. You cannot say, nobody has nothing to do with me, it is my life. Yes, it is your life, but it will affect others. What if in the future something happened? How they reconcile, how they solve the problems? They need to go back to your family. So Islam even cared about this point. So these three conditions are agreed upon. They disagreed on slavery. Let's say the daughter, the girl, is free, but her father is slave. Can he be the wali or no? Also, they disagreed on two things. Fiqh, committing sins openly. Can this person be a wali or no? Does he have to be upright? Because this is a problem. Sometimes the girl comes and says, my father is alcoholic, he abandons prayer, and he is not fit to be a wali. He cannot look after me. He cannot look for what is better for me. So, is that a disqualification for this person as a wali or no? They disagreed on that. Because some scholars said in order for this person to be a wali, he has to be upright. He has to be trustworthy. Now, if we say the wali is a condition, according to the majority, who takes precedence in guardianship? Who is the wali? Father. Are you sure the father?
Yes.
Okay. What if there is a woman who was married and she is divorced, she has a 16 years old son from the previous marriage, and she wanted to get married again. Who's her wali? She has a father who's 55 years old, and she has a son who's adult, 16 years old. Her father is against the marriage, and her son is for the marriage because this guy is his coach, and she likes him. That's an issue where scholars differed. Of course, who's the wali here? The father is against the marriage, but her son is with the marriage.
Who knows more about the mother, the father, or the...
If you say the father takes precedence, she cannot marry this man.
Yeah.
So can she or can't she?
She can't.
She can't. She wants to marry him, her son with the marriage, but her father is not.
Her father is the wali.
Maybe anyone is fine.
Any wali is fine? Maybe. That means you go, the father refuses, and you go behind the father, you give her brothers gifts, and they are all okay, and they end up marrying her without the knowledge of her father.
You have to know.
According to the Maliki school of thought, the son takes precedence. The level of children, the son, because remember, not any son, he has to be mature. We already stipulated that he's adult. The son and his son, imagine if a woman has a grandson who's adult and she has a father, her grandson who's adult can marry her, and then the father, then the brother, then the grandfather. Now this order is important when we have a conflict. If we don't have a conflict, there is no issue. Everybody is with the marriage, it is okay. Another opinion says the father, then the grandfather, then the brother. Because again, maybe the case is not the father and the son. The case is the grandfather and the brother. A woman wants to get married. Her father is dead, but she has her grandfather. Her grandfather is against the marriage. Her brother is with the marriage. So, can she marry or no? Her grandfather is against the marriage, but her brother is with the marriage. Can she or can't she?
No.
Why not?
Father.
Again, what's the basis for this order? Scholars differed because there is no text from the Prophet ﷺ exactly that this is the order. Some of them compared it and made the analogy of inheritance. Who takes precedence in inheritance? And in inheritance, they agreed that the son is stronger. Because with the existence of the son and the father takes only 1/6, and the rest goes to the son. But in case of a grandfather and brother, according to the majority, they both share. So they are in equal level. But according to Imam Abu Hanifa rahimahullah, and one opinion, Imam Ahmad, the grandfather is just like a father. The brother does not take anything with the existence of the grandfather. He acts like a father. So this is very important. You need to go back and see what are the evidences. So you put the order. The order is very important, especially when there is conflict. And it could happen, especially if the family is big. Don't think that every family, they have a father and he is the guardian and that's it. Sometimes the father is not there and the family is big and these things really matter and there is a conflict. The brother wants her to marry and the grandfather does not want her to marry. Or vice versa. And then you have the son also, you have the father or the grandfather. So what do you do? Another issue that is also important, if we say that the father is the guardian, but the father is not there, we have her brother. Can the brother marry her while her father is away? A woman came to you and she told you, I want to get married. This is a fit person. He is suitable for me. And my brother is my wali. And you ask, where is your father? She says, he's not here. He's out of the country. What do you do? What do you do? Would you marry her or no?
The father's far away and then the brother is here?
Mm-hmm.
Is that what you're saying?
The brother is here, but the father is not here.
If the father agrees with it, then you can do it.
You have no way to check.
No.
You know that the father exists, and you know that he's not here. But you cannot reach him. You wait for how long? She says, I want to get married. All that scholars looked into it. For instance, if the father is going for a short trip, definitely you don't marry her, you wait.
Yeah.
How urgent is the marriage? And how long is the father going?
Yeah.
And that also is based on the order. Is this order in sequence, or like it is automatic, or they can delegate? For instance, the father is the wali by default, right? Let's say the father stipulated that if I'm not here, not the second one will become the guardian, but the third one.
That's fine.
An example for this. The father does not like his father. So he says, if I am not here, my grandfather is not the wali, but rather my brother, which is the uncle of the girl.
It depends.
Can the uncle be the wali in the absence of the grandfather? Now, if the father is not there, who takes the wilayah, the guardianship?
Grandfather.
The grandfather. According to Imam Shafi'i, it is the sultan. The sultan. But he delegates. So let's say you came and you said, this is the girl and she is getting married. Her father is not here. So this is the second in line as a guardian, which is the brother. And you ask about this brother. Do you have the option to strip this person from the wilayah and move it to another person? Because it should be to you and you give it back, or you don't have the option. Either you look at the marriage and you verify it, or you say no, it is not valid for another reason. According to Imam Shafi'i, the sultan is the wali after the father. But according to Imam Malik rahimahullah and others, no, it is automatic. Who is next in line? He takes the wilayah. If all of them are not there, then it is the sultan. So which one is stronger? Imam Malik? Are you sure?
The order? Yeah. If Sultan is the ruler?
Yeah.
Only if he's not.
Can't the sultan verify the marriage and nullify it? He's the person in charge. So how come he's not the wali? But he himself authorizes the next in line. Again, family. Okay, very interesting issue. If we have two marriages for one woman, yeah, very interesting. A girl does not have a father. She has two brothers. Both of them are in equal level. Both of them are walis, right? And she tells them, I want to get married. This is the criteria I want. She gave them the specifications of the husband that she's looking for. And she told them there is a reward for the one that will get me a husband. Meeting this criteria. And they both went. And they both conducted marriage on her behalf because they are the walis, they had her consent, and they conducted marriage. So now we have a woman with two men. Who is her husband?
First one.
First one. Okay, good. The first one, the marriage contract was conducted because she's here in Houston. So the first one knows that in Houston there are no remaining good men. He has to go to another place. He went quickly to Dallas and he conducted the marriage there. He found the same criteria and he conducted the marriage on the 15th of the month. The one in Houston, he was sure that he will find someone. And he found him on the 17th. And he came and they consummated the marriage. By the time they consummated the marriage, the one in Dallas came. The marriage contract was established 2 days before this one here in Houston. But she already consummated the marriage with this one. Could that happen or no? What do you do? But this, she consummated with him, right?
There's a problem here.
There is a problem. What is the problem?
Only be one wali at a time.
What? The wilaya moved and they both are walis and she encouraged them. The elder brother, they were born at the same time. They are twins. They are on the same level. What?
Can there ever be?
Listen. She consummated with this one on the 17th, based on a contract that was made 2 days after a previous contract. Can you make a contract of marriage for a woman that is already married? So if he did not know, that is fine. What's the problem? What's the crime of the first husband? What is his mistake, his fault? He said, I married her 2 days ago, so she is my wife. This marriage is null because it was based on invalid thing. She was my wife when you married her to that person. No, that is not zina. It becomes shubha, just like the issue where the man is mistakenly. So, do you say that? Or do you say no, since she consummated with him, the first one is... Or we tell her, you choose. You choose. Whom do you like more?
Can we have the situation where there's two walis making that decision?
In that case, again, those are two brothers in the same level of piety, the same age, and both of them, you cannot tell someone you are the wali. And she herself, she did not choose one of them as wali. Both of them are her walis. So, this was consummated. But then the guy who came, mashallah, he looks handsome. He's beautiful. He has more money. And she's now attracted to him. And she kept on thinking. And what do you tell her? No, it's consummated now. You are his husband. You are his wife. He's your husband. Umar, what do you do? You don't know. We need you. Okay, and then there are many cases in regards to the wali, the guardian.
So what's the answer? Yeah.
What's the answer?
It's multiple answers, right? It can be one fixed one based on the imam who's making it.
The imam, he will look and he will say, well, this is rich, and take him.
I'm saying there's no concrete answer.
Yeah, you divorce her from both of them, and you start over.
The one she consummated the marriage with.
Yeah.
If it satisfied the conditions of a valid marriage.
The one that she consummated the marriage with. But there is a problem, again, as I said, because this was supposed to be happening after she's already married.
So that contract becomes invalid. It started off unvalid.
Uphold that contract.
Well, think about it. By the way, we have lots of reading from the book that we did not read. So inshallah we will stop here. هذا وصلى الله وسلم على محمد وصحبه أجمعين.